So more stimulus checks are coming out every week. The Treasury is sending out plus-up payments, bonus payments. Every week they're sending out more stimulus checks. And we have more states that are actually going to be sending out stimulus checks. In fact, the states have until December 31st to send out more and more stimulus. It's good news. Now, Congress right now is coming back to Washington. They're going to be working on this new $3.5 trillion stimulus package that looks like it'll probably get passed if they can get all of the Democrats on board with this. So this is pretty much good news. $3.5 trillion budget plan. They're going to have to raise the debt ceiling to get this done. Inside of this budget plan could be possibly the American Families Plan, and the American Families Plan will have the fourth stimulus check and will extend out a lot of these programs that are happening right now. Now, the plus-up payments are payments that are going out with the Treasury. These are payments that people file their returns. Once you file your returns, they're going to look at your 2019 and 2020 returns, and they're going to say, okay, did you make less in 2020? If they did, they're going to plus up, get you caught up to the $1,400 payments. Also right now going out is the child tax credit. If you did have children, even if you had a child in 2021, you still can pick up that child tax credit. You just have to file your returns, add those. You just have to add those dependents in there, and you'll start to pick this up. A lot of people are saying they don't have children. I get it. There looks like there's going to probably hopefully be a fourth stimulus check coming up in this new budget plan, but we're going to have to see if Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer will be able to add in a fourth stimulus check. But right now, if you do have children under the age of 6, you're getting a $300 check. That's a monthly check coming out every month on the 15th. Also, if you have children between the age of 6 and 17, you get a $250 check, and that is coming out on the 15th also. That is going to extend all the way down through December, and then hopefully they'll try to get that extended out throughout a couple of years. Now, the recovery rebate credit, some of you are asking about getting your first and second check. If you haven't done so, the first and second check are available to you if you use that recovery rebate credit section in the filings. You have to go to the free filer tool that's available online. Go there and you fill out your information. And what you can do is you can get that first and second check. So if you haven't got it, you just say I never received those. The first check, which is $1,200, and the $600 check. You want to get those two, and you want to get those to you quickly, and then plus you'll get the third stimulus check. Those of you that are SSI, SSDI, you have to file your returns with the Treasury in order to pick up this recovery rebate credit. Now, once you do that, you can add your bank account. You can add in the bank. You can add in your address, and that way they'll be able to get your check out to you, get your payment out to you quickly. The Golden State stimulus checks are going out for California. Now, California right now is one of the only states that's actually sending out stimulus payments. $600 payments go out to everybody, plus $500 for eligible families and children. If you made less than $75,000 a year, then you're set up, ready to go. And that's good news. So bonuses also are for a lot of the states. I'm going to cover some of the new states that are happening right now. But this Build Back Better plan is what President Biden is trying to get passed. He wants to get this done quickly. I think everybody coming back to Washington, all the House representative people, all the Senate members are going to be coming back to Washington, and they'll try to get this done. Now, the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure deal has already been passed in the Senate. So it's just a matter of going to the House and then them voting on it in the House. And Nancy Pelosi said she wants to get the budget reconciliation package voted on and moved forward and moved into the Senate before she actually votes on the $1 trillion bipartisan package. She seems to be playing a little hardball, saying we'll vote on your bill as long as you vote on our bill. I don't know personally if they're going to be able to get that budget plan passed, just because of the fact that they need some Republican support, and I don't know if they have a full support of the Democrats for getting that budget plan set up. Now, the House and Ways and Means Committee, this is a very powerful organization in Congress, have come out and said they wanted reoccurring payments. So that's been kind of the theme, is getting these monthly checks going out to everybody, even if you don't have children. So this big petition there's 3 million signatures on that, and they're going to be talking about getting $2,000 payments for everybody, maybe $1,000 for children on a monthly basis. If it goes through, that would be very big. I think they're going to have to sneak that into the reconciliation process in order to get that those payments out to everybody. Now, again, the child tax credit, they want to extend that out through 2025. That's something that President Biden is trying to get into his American Families Plan. So if you do have children under the age of 17, then over the course of the next couple of years, if they pass this, would be a monthly check to you, and that would be really good. In fact, if you have children under the age of 6, you get a $3,600 payment every year. You multiply that by how many children that you have, and then you would have that as a check. If you have 4 or 5 children, you're going to be getting a pretty good monthly payment coming from the American Rescue Plan. Also in this new plan, they want to bump up that minimum wage from $7 to $15. Me personally, I think it should be $25 an hour based on the way inflation is happening. Inflation is growing so fast right now, and wages are not keeping up with inflation. So that, if somebody's only making $15 an hour and inflation is taking off every year, it's hard to make ends meet. But if you're making $25, $30 an hour, then it would be keeping up with inflation. But that is something that they're going to have to try to pass, try to get that done. Now, there are a lot of companies that are paying out $15 an hour. Places like Walmart and Amazon, these places like that, the big box stores, they're paying out $15 an hour. And so if you are looking for a career change, that might be a good place to start. Now, one of the things is the senator in West Virginia, Joe Manchin, he was not really on board with this $3.5 trillion spending package. But it looks like recently he's come out and said he's going to support about $1.5 trillion of the 3.5. So he's very conservative when it comes to spending money and borrowing money and all that. What's important is that they need a 50-50 split in the Senate. And right now they only have a 50-50 split in the Senate right now. That's including Joe Manchin. And they have the tiebreaker with Kamala Harris. So that gives them the power in the Senate. But if you have somebody like Joe Manchin who says that he's not supporting it, then they only have a 49-50 Senate vote and then it's basically a tie because Kamala Harris would give them the vote, but she doesn't break the tie. So it's very important they get all of them in there. Now, Biden said that he's friends with Joe Manchin and that he will talk to him and try to get him on board. But again, Joe Manchin is not really thrilled about the $3.5 trillion spending bill. And that's something that they're going to have to raise the debt ceiling. There's going to be a lot of talk about this because if they don't raise the debt ceiling, the U.S. government's going to default on their payments coming this spring. And so that's something they definitely don't want to do. And so if you want to get more stimulus payments coming out to you, the best way to do this is to just go into your portal with the Treasury, try to get that free filing tool and try to get that payment set up moving out to you. Now, again, there's a lot of states that are stepping up and getting payments out. Some of the other states are going to be Florida sending out $1,000 payments to EMT firefighters. Georgia sending out $1,000 payments to teachers. Looks like Maryland has $500 and $300 going out to families that qualify. Michigan, $500. Missouri, looks like they were sending out $250 checks to correctional officers. You got New Mexico, which is $750 in emergency financial assistance. Tennessee is $1,000 checks for full-time educators. And then Vermont, looks like they were sending out $2,000 checks to nurses, janitors, and retail workers. So that's good news. Some of the new states are actually sending out more checks. Every state received billions and billions of dollars. In fact, there was $350 billion total that was sent out in the American Rescue Plan, and those payments are going to be sent out to each state. So each state has a ton of money sitting in their treasury, and now they're trying to figure out how they can spend that. I believe they have to spend it. They have to take that federal rescue money, and they have to spend it before December 31st. If they don't, they have to give it back to the federal government. But I think the states they don't want to give it back to the federal government, so they're going to spend it into the people that live there in those states with a stimulus check. Now, Florida looks like they're stepping up a little more. They're sending out to teachers and educators, but they're also going to frontline workers like police, paramedics, EMTs, and firefighters. Definitely need it the most. Some of these states, they're just sending out to teachers. So I get it. If you're a teacher, you're definitely benefiting from this. If you're not a teacher, then I don't know what, if they're going to change it or move it around. Seems to me that the education union people in some of these states is very powerful, and they can have big control over these governors. Not sure if the governors get voted in based on the education system or the unions in those states, but I think that it has a lot to do with it because they are only sending out checks to teachers, which they should be doing like what California is doing, is actually sending out stimulus payments to individuals that need it the most. $600 payments for California plus $500 to families. If you did earn less than $75,000, you'd be part of that. One of the things that's different in California is that ITIN tax filers, these are typical immigrants who do not possess a Social Security number but pay taxes, will receive $500, and then I believe it's another $600 for dependents. So that's good news for people that just have an ITIN number that do not have a Social Security number. You will receive a payment. So I'm going to keep you updated on some of the newer states that are coming out, because there are just a couple of states coming in. I think a lot of them are really looking at what California is doing, seeing how that's going to play out, how successful that will be, because it looks like California spent, it says $100 billion California comeback plan, $100 billion in their budget to send out payments to people. A lot of the other states will say, okay, if California, if it's a success with them, then we will turn around and we'll do this exact same thing. So definitely look for people in California to do well, because then your state might set up and do the exact same thing. Hey, so if you have any questions about stimulus, go ahead and drop those questions in the comments below. This is your daily stimulus check. Update information for today.